Hello there and welcome to Lake Placid here in New York State for the BG US Challenge. Now this is where it all happens, and this location was home to the 1932 and 1980 Winter Olympics, so what better place to be? The village of Lake Placid is a destination for thrill seekers and those who just want to enjoy this quiet part of America. It also provided the stage for the Miracle on Ice in 1980, when the USA's team of collegiate and amateur ice hockey players brought down the mighty Soviet machine in an epic moment of Olympic history. Well, it all begins here in the Olympic speed skating arena before they head out into this beautiful part of the country. But they won't have much time to enjoy that because our race is about to get underway. So I'll hand you over to our commentator, Rob Walker.
Well, what a setting and what an occasion for this Intelligent Sport Grand Prix. And incidentally, there are 3 qualifying spots left for the World Series final in Cyprus. And that is why these guys are fired up here in this fantastic Olympic arena. No one's hanging around. 34 teams here, all raising money for St Jude Children's Research Hospital, America's second largest healthcare charity. So there's personal ambition and there's money to be raised as well. Tough course this, but it's a great one. 3 kilometres of canoeing before the first puzzle point. Remember, you finish up in a brain cell if you get the puzzle wrong. Then a lung-bursting 3.5k run. And how about this for a 4-kilometre bike course? Ups and downs. And then a gruelling 1,500-metre run heading into the final puzzle and then the finish. Well, already staking their claim is team number 37, all in red, and they are, believe it or not, the Boy Scouts.
So what's your aspirations for the end of it?
Survive. Survive, survive, survive. Rock it out, do what we do best. You know, we got a paddling event. We got a paddling stage in this event. We're really pumped about that because that's what we all do in the summertime. We paddle our butts off. So I think that's going to be a big strong point for us. And we got some big names breathing down our necks, so we're going to go as hard as we can. Because mainly we're just out here to boogie. We're out here to have fun. We're glad to be back here the 3rd year in a row. And we've got a lot of support from all the other teams here, and we've made a lot of friends, and we love being here, and we love rocking this race out and pushing ourselves hard. And as long as we do well with ourselves, I don't care what the finish line says.
Well, as you can see, there's no upper age limit on that particular fraternity in America, but they want to boogie, they want to rock. Forget about the cheesy dance moves, guys. You've got some quality opposition to take care of here. First glimpse of the reality stars, all in yellow. Among them, one of Hollywood's most 50 eligible bachelors, but it's not about looking good, it's about performing exactly when it counts. So the Boy Scouts, they've said they're going to be good on the water, now they've got to put their money where their mouths are. They are the first out onto the 3K canoe course. Pretty cold that water as well, I've been told, so no one's going to want to go in. Long way to go. They've got about 90 minutes of exercise here, and they've got to use their brains as well, so it's going to be a tough but very enjoyable day out for these guys.
Hunter, get in. Hold on, dude. I don't want to get my feet wet. Get in.
I think he's picked the wrong sport if he wants to stay dry. The reality stars cry, I don't want to get my feet wet. Oh, BG have gone in. Not just the feet getting wet for some of these competitors, and believe you me, that water is cold. It's a stunning setting this, but it's a very long time to stay cold and wet. It helps if you sit correctly in the canoe. These guys have got things off to a nice steady start, haven't they? Remember, this is 3K, this canoe course, but when they get to the halfway stage, they're going to have to get out and run. Well, the reality stars have definitely got things underway nicely. The Boy Scouts are floundering behind them, and these guys are the first to exit the water.
I think we've got a lot of strong personalities on our team, and so you got to figure out a way to work together, and for somebody to take the lead when it's something that they're good at, and for somebody else to take a lead when it's something that they have their strength in. So it's very important, but I think we've done really well.
So what are your aspirations really for the end of today?
Qualify for Cyprus, that's all we want to do. We didn't come in this year thinking, we're going to win this thing. If it happened, that'd be great, but all we care about is being able to go hit the beaches of Cyprus.
Well, before you get the towels out and pick your spot on the beach, you've still got to win. There's a long way to go for the reality stars. The Boy Scouts now trying to prove they're good on the water. Well, are you boys? That is an absolute disaster for those guys. They gave it the big one about being rafting guides and experts out on the lake here, but that is not good news, and that means the reality stars are going to be getting out and increasing their lead ahead of the first puzzle point. Well, confirmation of the leaderboard. The Boy Scouts down in 5th, and they've let through Trentec, Go Outside and Roanoke County.
So it was the reality stars leading into puzzle point 1, where they had to solve this problem or spend 5 minutes in the brain cell. A familiar visual puzzle, teams would have to count the number of triangles in this piece of prime New York beef to move on. It's tempting to rush a puzzle like this, which is what the leaders did, and as a result they became the first of many to get banged up in the brain cell.
I'm sorry, you're wrong.
What went wrong?
We're from California, we don't know a lot about cows, so we just, it's a quick thing. We rushed maybe a little bit, but this is an early one. We figured if we could rush one, we could rush the first one, deal with this 5-minute penalty, and make it up. At the and the rest of the course, we got a long way to go. It's early.
Trentec Marketing were next to try out the comforts of the Intelligent Sport lockup.
Do the legs in the body. How does that? 14. That's 25.
But we're at the first puzzle point here, and the leading teams that got here first have not gone through yet. They're all inside this brain cell because none of them solved that puzzle yet. Watch Daisy carefully for the answer. That's what the Boy Scouts did, and they were the first to get it right, back in the lead. Only to take a brief wrong turn and allow the reality stars who had done their time to take it back again. The foot race was on with Trentec, HP and HQ US Air Force also chasing.
How you feeling at the front? Going good? That is good.
Inch by inch, it is a cinch. By the yard, it is hard. That's right. That's what my grandma said. She's right.
Still neck and neck after the 2-mile run to the first transition. The changeover to bikes needed to be quick.
These track stars are killing me. They all taste like chicken.
US Air Force were up to 3rd by the end of the run, but both lead teams were suited and booted for the bike stage and away on the ride to puzzle point 2. Things getting pretty frantic around the still waters of Lake Placid.
That's all, we've already decided.
Join us after the break as the emotional temperature rises at the Intelligent Sport Grand Prix.
Welcome back to New York State. We're in Lake Placid for the BG US Challenge. Twice this has been a host venue to the Winter Olympics, now home to a stunning 6 million acre preserve, just ripe for canoeing, running and biking. That's what our competitors have been doing here today. And by the way, they've had 4 mental puzzles to solve along the way. Here we are just approaching the second of those. Team 28 all in yellow, the reality stars. This guy, Hunter Ellis, used to be a Navy fighter pilot. Is he more of a maverick or an Iceman? Well, with this challenge, we'll find out.
24 times 20.
These guys coming in are the Boy Scouts. They've talked a good game so far. Now what can they produce here under pressure?
Just be quick about it. Don't worry about that.
I got this. Gonna make my catch.
Do it later. Let's focus on this. You can do that later.
Right.
You can do that later.
That's okay.
Now, those of you who understand numbers won't need a clue, but here's one anyway. Every other square, the number multiplied doubles. In other words, 36 is 6 times 6, 144 is 12 times 12, and so on. And by the way, someone did have to tell me that.
Yeah. That's
6 times 6.
Anything times anything.
Or 12 times 2.
96 times 96.
Interesting tactics from the reality stars, whispering so the other guys can't hear them. They must be confident.
Let's get this off to the side and let's work on it as a group, okay?
You writing them down? Get the colors too.
Now approaching the second puzzle point, HQ US Air Force. Now the use of tactics here could be interesting. If you think it's beyond you, you can take the brain cell punishment, which on this stage is 6 minutes, and hope that no one else completes it quicker.
Double. Let's just take it. Let's just take it.
Okay, let's go.
That's exactly what they've decided to do. Nothing wrong with that, but it remains to be seen whether it proves fruitful.
438. Incorrect.
Take your bike.
You write these numbers down as I call them out. Come on, come on, come on, come on.
Tempers fraying in the Boy Scouts team.
36.
It looked like too much trouble to figure out the problem. We figured we'd spend just as much time solving as we would in here, so we'll just punch it and go. There's a guarantee that's not, we could still miss it, and then spend 6 more minutes in here, so that was the decision. Strategic, may pay off, may not, we'll see.
There's a team just coming behind you.
We'll see what happens.
Correct. Left.
Do we dip? Do we dip?
Well, the eligible bachelors have got some brains as well. The guys have got it right, and they're out on the course and continuing in the lead. Meanwhile, the Boy Scouts are still desperately trying to come up with the answer to this one. You can almost hear their brains thinking. The missing square was 96 times 96, 9,216. No way I could have worked that out, but I tell you what, the reality boys did. They're off and away.
Forget it. Forget it.
Now these guys are URS, team number 14, the first winners of this event. They had a disaster on the first puzzle point, and I think they've learnt their lesson. Yes, they have. It's a brave tactic, but that's what this game is all about. There's Volvo, they're the defending champions from last year. Now, the Boy Scouts.
All right, where are you at?
They said they were good rafters, they fell in the water. Now, how good's their maths? Very good. They've got some ground to make up on the reality stars, and you can see how desperate they are to get moving. Imagine the frustration of being stuck in the brain cell, watching your opponents leave.
We good?
Yeah. Where's the Stop, Earl.
You good, man? Rock and roll. All right, we're good now.
You've got to love the linguistics of this man, haven't you? He promised boogieing, he promised rock and roll, and they're off and chasing. Meanwhile, these guys still have 6 minutes to think about their first chord.
You pass them, you wait. You pass them, you wait.
The same two teams were contesting the 2-mile mountain bike sprint to puzzle point 3. While behind them, the yellow team here, Motorola, were motoring into third ahead of Air Force HQ and Volvo Mag trucks. Motorola were taking a few risks.
All right, skid out a little bit. It's all right, we're back on road. We're all right on.
Meanwhile, one of the Air Force bikes was breaking down right on cue, which made it a running section for Jeremy Klomp.
So puzzle point 3 here, the reality stars are the first there, quickly joined by the Boy Scouts in the background. It's another maths one this, and it'll be very interesting to see what tactics are employed. If you're good, try for the answer. If you're not, and you're not confident, maybe you go for the 7-minute time in the bin.
This is big. Each closed area, some of it's open. In fact, all these are open.
It's all about recognizing your strengths and your weaknesses this game.
The greens are the only closed areas. And you place the digits 1 to 9. So that means you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Look, they're not all closed. Look, they're open. There's the closed.
Well, some are looking confused.
There's the closed.
Well, this is
No, it means the big squares. Look, it means the big squares have to have the same sum. These little squares take a digit. This big area here only takes 1 digit.
The man in the blue hat is absolutely right. Will they listen to him, though?
Read it again. There's a difference between this line here.
They're making it very complicated. It's pretty simple, really. 9 numbers and 9 squares. Look at the contrast in styles with this teamwork. The Reality Boys keeping quiet. There's a glimpse of Motorola. They're coming in 3rd place. The Reality Boys nice and quiet, just doing it at their own pace. And the Boy Scouts, well, differences of opinion there, and that is costing them valuable time. I'd be listening to the man in the blue hat if I was them. Here come Motorola. Now these guys come from an engineering background and they're pretty confident they can make up time on the puzzles. There's a glimpse of HQ Air Force coming into play. Now the Reality Boys. It was quiet, it was considered. Was it right?
That is correct.
It certainly was. The boys continue their charge at the top of the leaderboard.
So you have 1 square.
While the Boy Scouts were struggling, URS was sticking to their brain bypass strategy, heading straight for the sin bin with an answer they knew was wrong. It was a gamble, but the reward would be a top 3 finish and a trip to the World Series final if it paid off.
We're not wasting any time with the questions. First one we got wrong and we found out that we wasted time trying to answer it, and so we're just trying to mitigate the risk.
URS were avoiding the trap the Boy Scouts were walking into, wasting time on a problem they weren't going to solve anyway. 7 minutes in the cooler for them, so if the Reality Stars could be quick and correct at the last puzzle, they would win. Here's just one of the 3 well-known phrases they would have to decode. And while we're not going to make you run anywhere, see how you get on. With the leaders about to hit that final puzzle point, just a short sprint from the finish line, let's rejoin Rob Walker.
Well, just 3 phrases to find. We're back at the speed skating arena and glory could await the Reality Boys.
Overcast weather, undercast weather. Forecast weather. Okay. Forecast weather.
Bingo on that one. Just 2 left to go and the boys can taste victory. Here come URS, also in the yellow, team number 14. They're in 2nd place overall and their tactics have worked so far. They've always chosen for the brain cell. Remember, there's a place up for grabs here in Cyprus at the World Finals.
That's forecast. Big time alphabet. What does it spell? Bermuda Triangle.
Excellent work here.
Time.
Get to it. Over time, something over the whole alphabet.
Time stretch.
We got the first time.
Stretch time. Something about time stretch.
Time. Well, not home stretch. Time stretch. I don't think it's stretch.
This is InfoCision back at puzzle point number 3. Now these guys are not the quickest, but they've done really well at the puzzles and they've worked their way through the field as a result.
Go dip.
The Boy Scouts in the red, team number 37, paying the price for their indecision at puzzle point 3.
Big time. What? There's no C. Oh, there's no C. You're right.
They're getting closer.
Big time minus C. What's that?
C time. Time to C. Time. Wait. C time.
No time to see.
No time. This is so hard to watch.
No C.
Big time. C
no
time.
The only one that's missing
C. No C time. Time no C. Big time no C.
They've canoed. They've run. They've biked. Come on, guys! It's right there.
No C.
Time without C, or time.
Time over no C.
Or what about without a C?
Long time no see.
Long time no C.
He's got it! Yes! Finally! Well, no wonder they're punching the air because they know they're on the plane to Cyprus. URS team number 14 are coming in, but they're not going to be quick enough to stop these guys running away with victory.
Can we please walk?
Can we please walk? You've got a ticket to Cyprus, mate. I think you want to be running to the finish line.
We're going to the world. We just won the race.
URS are spending 30 seconds deliberating whether to take on this puzzle. That could prove costly. But this is the moment the grassroots soccer reality stars dreamed of this morning. They have been victorious. It's been a long, hard road for these guys, but they've done it, and they've done it in style.
1 second, 30. Make a call now. Wait. That's all. We've already decided.
30 seconds have gone.
Okay.
They've made the decision not to tackle the puzzle.
Hold on, you got your answers written down?
And that could prove costly, because here come Infocision, the puzzle kings.
They did it. They solved it.
These guys have done it nice and quietly. They've done it steadily.
If somebody else solved it, you're dead. They solved it in 10.
And they cannot be ruled out at this stage.
Weather forecast.
He's absolutely nailed that.
No.
As URS disappear for their 8 minutes into the brain cell, it will be an agonising wait for them. Here come the Boy Scouts. They're looking pretty sprightly. Not in the lead as they were earlier on, but they're still going well. And they've also decided to go straight into the brain cell.
These correct?
No.
Cool.
Okay.
Where do we dip?
Right there, right there. Dip, 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 dip. Go, go, go.
Long time overseas? No?
Yes. Yeah, man.
No?
Long time no see.
There's great teamwork going on here.
All right, so what do we got here? One more to go, and then we can finish this bad boy.
Well, it's almost like a schoolboy reunion in there, but there'll be some nervous moments shortly, because these guys will have to watch Infocision
Yes. Do it. We got a book.
march their way to the finish.
We got to run the whole track?
Yeah.
At the Olympic Arena here in Lake Placid, it will be a silver for Infocision. Roared on by the Boy Scouts. URS are laughing. I can just see them out the corner of my eye, but they may not be laughing later. Just one more place left on that plane to Cyprus. A really good team performance this by Infocision. They didn't shout about it, they just got on with their business, and they did it well.
We did third, baby. Yeah.
Meanwhile, back in the brain cell, URS have got to stand and watch. They must ensure they serve this penalty before anyone else solves the puzzle, or Cyprus has gone.
Have we done it? We're not sure yet. We may have to run at the end. Here, depends on whether one of these guys actually gets it right. If they have to get it right, it's a foot race to the finish.
Yeah. If they get it right, then
That's time to pull them all the time, right?
you guys are. Don't worry. It's over.
It certainly is over for URS, because here come the engineers, here come Motorola. They've also played a pretty solid, steady game, these guys.
That hurts. We run in. We run in about 30 seconds. It's all good though.
Well, they're taking that in good spirits, but it's amazing what a difference 30 seconds can make. That is why this is such a competitive event. A great third place there for Motorola. Well-deserved bronze. They used their brain as well as their brawn. Fourth place is the worst place to finish, but URS will learn lessons from that and bounce back stronger next year. Of that you can have no doubt. Well, they may not quite be the rafting experts they first said they were, but the Boy Scouts are smiling. They've done this in a great spirit, and it is fifth place for the Rock and Roll Boogie Boys. I think they'll be having a few beers tonight. The champagne precedes that, of course. A great win for the reality stars. Infocision in second, and Motorola taking third. Here come the orange men of PG. They took a little dip in the water earlier on, and they might even get a couple of drops of champagne if they're lucky.
So congratulations yet again to our winning teams behind us. They've picked their place in the World Finals in Cyprus. So it's certainly been an Olympic event here in Lake Placid. But I'll see you all very soon. Bye-bye. Next time on Adrenaline Rush, it's high mountains and high seas in one of the world's classic endurance challenges, the Three Peaks Yacht Race.
High five, cameraman.
Sweet!